it, because that's not been banned out.
The Orianna Rengar combo is super strong. I would love to see that.
Also, lots of talking about that in Singapore. Yeah, maybe you can recap again why that combo is so strong.
Well, it's obvious. Like Rengar ultimate just turned invisible, and you can jump to the character you want. And we see the Orianna pick by MYM
to counter it.
We didn't talk. I didn't say anything.
I'm just going to jump across you there. I mean, I know, guys at home, don't worry. I do this now often. But Sharu had Orianna banned out against him in the first game. And why is he so? Because he is a top Orianna player.
Yes, he is. He's definitely one of the best Orianna I ever seen in Europe. And probably one of the first Orianna as well. I remember Sharu playing Orianna, and also I remember Citizen Wayne playing Orianna. Not many more people playing Orianna at the really all times.
Until Season 2 finals, and suddenly everyone went, whoa, Orianna's really good.
Actually, at mid of Season 2, like, everyone was already playing Orianna.
Yeah.
She was really strong champion, but yeah, before that, I think it was like Sharu and Citizen Wayne playing Orianna.
Because, I mean, it's a high skill.
And this is, I talk about the 4 champions Metals can play at extremely high level. It's Caitlyn, it's Graves, it's Ezreal, and probably Corki. I don't see him playing Corki that much lately, but still, his Graves, his Caitlyn, and his Ezreal is like highest level.
And Cho'Gath continues to be picked throughout this entire tournament. It's
always.
Pretty much every game. I'd have to check the stats, but I'm pretty sure that's 100% still.
And probably because we still have the Heart of Gold.
No.
CJ Inter's played it.
We didn't saw it on the meme against CLDU.
Yes, that's true. There was a Fiddlesticks. What was the other jungler in that one?
Ara 1.
Maybe Snoopy should have played it.
Yes, maybe he should have, yeah.
I think his fiddle was good.
I mean, that's a... You think his fiddle was good?
Even if he could not cast a single ultimate, he tried.
He didn't get a single ultimate,
you
but
get points for trying.
The boys are trying.
Actually, that game was won entirely by Sona. Like, every Sona ultimate was perfect by Libic. And here we go. Here we're gonna have Libic playing Nunu. You cannot interact that much on the game with Nunu. And we see a last pick of the AD from MYM and the whole team by Alternate.
I assume it's going to be Caitlyn to go alongside Nunu. Pretty strong combo.
Probably. I was going to say Bane, but they have Rengar, and Rengar is really strong against Bane.
Well, Kog'Maw is still open. Is it the same problem with Rengar?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he, don't have any
he has no mobility. Yeah. Like, Rengar just jump on you and just, like, you die, insta-die. And if you don't insta-die, then you have Ahri, you just jump in straight off all your enemies and killing you.
So in this combo, Orianna's going to be looking to put a ball on Mokata's Skarner, who's then just going to run in on.
Yeah, it's something also really.
Oh, it could be a Bane.
We have Bane. I was talking because I know Makler is extremely good Bane. He was probably his main champion. Some months ago, he was just playing Bane.
If you think back to Singapore, when they were 10-2 down, they had the Bane there, and they had a 7-1-3 Twisted Fate on the opposition side, but once you got that triple kill bottom lane on Vayne, once the snowball starts on Vayne, it doesn't tend to stop. Yeah,
the thing is, I mean, I like both setups. One of the setups, we have Alternate, we have a full going. We have a Rengar Invisible, Ahri going, Graves ultimate, and then you have Lulu to ultimate Rengar and just go in to Bane. And then you have, at the other side, we have MYM, who has move speed setup. I mean, we have the Nunu.
The Blood Boil,
yeah. W from Nunu, it's speed. Then you have Orianna speed as well, W. So you can put that full speed on Skarner,
shield,
and then he can use Flash or everyone use Shurelios and pick anyone of the enemy team and pull to you. But you don't have a really good target. Probably the main target will be Ahri on alternate team. But then you can use that speed as well on Vayne and let Vayne just kill them all. With W of Nunu, with W Orianna, you have a lot of speed to move everywhere and kill them all. I think I like so much both setups, and it's the first game. I'm not going to put a bet on any of two teams.
You're not going to bet on any team?
I love both setups.
Well,
I really love both setups.
Well, I have a bet. I am just going to bet on MYM. I've seen them...
Probably from team play, MYM is better.
Yeah, I've seen them be super aggressive early, but I've also seen them come back from unwinnable games just thanks to Markel's Vayne, and I don't know that Alternate have what it takes to stop that.
Here's a last quick question for you, since we do say they're a strong level 1 team. To me, Alternate have got a stronger team there. What do you think?
What, sorry?
Who's got the strongest level 1 team?
A strong level 1 team is Alternate.
Alternate. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the game is underway. You can see it on the screens. Let's get over to Joe Miller and Jason Butler. I love you.
We love you.
So here we go then, Alternate versus Meet Your Makers. Alternate pretty much fighting for survival here. Meet Your Makers, on the other hand, could pretty much seal up their path into the next round with a victory in this game against Alternate. And I just want to point out we've got Dragon Slayer Vayne, which Jason and Demon Zenon can attest to. We saw the best Dragon Slayer Vayne cosplay in Singapore ever.
Yes, we
for
did.
a number of very, very nice reasons. But anyway, Alternate here going to be invading onto the bottom side, and we saw this positioning yesterday from SK Telecom, if I'm not mistaken, where they went into this tri-bush in the early stages. So we'll see how this one all ends up working out. From Meet Your Makers side of things, they're actually pretty much focused on this top side. Makler and Libic up in that tri-bush. Irelia is actually here, and they've already spotted where Alternate are coming from. So at least they know that on this time. Not like we saw yesterday, where it was a crazy level 1 start of things. Kubania inside of that river in the bottom. We'll see if he ends up getting caught out. Can't really don't really expect that to happen to him, to be honest with you. We've just seen actually a ward put down here as well by MYM around this blue buff area, and now Alternate going to be heading up onto that side by looks of things for Continex's start, and there is a pause.
Yeah, well, a pause anyways, but still, the top lane coming out of Meet Your Makers, I really like that Vayne and that Nunu combo against a Rengar. I mean, he's like one of the hardest champions to go 1v1 against. You don't really see many people beat him since he builds naturally tanky, but Vayne with that true damage is going to have a really easy time against him, and we'll see if Curb actually heads down to the bot lane in the meantime. And Joe, who do you have your money on?
I don't have any money. No, but if I did, for example, I still like Meet Your Makers team. I mean, we saw yesterday how hard Vayne can carry. We saw in Singapore how hard Makler's Vayne can carry games into that late game. And you just can't really deal with him that well. Once he gets to that point with the Phantom Dancer in there, Infinity Edge, or with a Bloodthirst, and then a Last Whisper, then into GA, like, at that point of the game, you have to have pretty much already won it, in my opinion, to stop a Vayne from really doing the damage that she could. And we can see there, Meet Your Makers, I think it's actually Makler who's just got a couple of little issues. I think actually his PC kept popping up a window saying that he'd just plugged the headphones in, which obviously someone so micro-intensive like Vayne, or I mean for everyone, it's not going to be a good situation to be in. So they are just working on getting that one fixed. We've got a couple of admins here. See that just walking in front of the camera nicely. But just down to the left-hand side of your screen, you've got Sean underneath the table fixing the PCs up. And hopefully that won't take too long of a time here to be getting finished off while we get into this game. But Jason, we were talking about who my money's on. What about you?
I'm going to have to go with Meet Your Makers for pretty much the same reason. I mean, that Vayne is just so devastating late game. And then you have an Orianna protect him. You have a Skarner on top of that. It's just really going to be impossible for them to get to him without a hard engage to it. All they really have is Kerp jumping in. And, well, obviously going to have a hard time doing that against this, especially if he goes 1v2 in these lanes. But, I mean, it's Kerp. I mean, he plays an amazing top lane. He can pretty much play any champion just like So has, right? At least has a huge pool. But MYM, I mean, they look so solid in game number 1 against CLG. That was so one-sided. The hyper-aggressive play out of them was amazing.
I can see that Abhorsen behind the players, just making sure that everything is working out on that front as well. Obviously, former manager for SK now working over with the lovely people at Riot. And that's our admin Sean there.
Him and I actually casted
doing his stuff.
I think it was over the last weekend, or no, during the week on Thursday. Him and I casted together, doing some season 3 pre-qualifiers, and that was
not
pretty fun.
Sean, you mean Abhorsen?
Oh yeah, Abhorsen. Sorry, it was fun. Definitely was. So Joe, I mean, what teams do you look are going to go through in this group stage, and then how do you think it's going to play out through the rest of the tournament?
Thing is, the way that it started, obviously, Meet Your Makers with 3 points, CJ Entus with 3 points. Actually makes it even harder somehow to call this group, in my opinion. From what we saw of Alternate, I don't think that they can beat Meet Your Makers. I don't think they're at that same level right now. They may prove me wrong with this one. We'll see how their whole game works out from this side of things. But, I mean, if Meet Your Makers win this one, they're pretty much guaranteed through there anyway. CJ versus CLG is going to be a ridiculously hard game to call as well. So I think this group is still wide open, despite the fact that we did have both teams winning their opening games, Meet Your Makers and CJ Entus. I think Alternate, I mean, if they win this one, they're right back in it, and this group is even more ridiculously wide open. We saw in Singapore that the times do actually come into play. If we have a tiebreaker, the times between the teams that are tied will actually count as to who goes through into the next round. And Meet Your Makers, well, they saw their Polish friends at ELO Hell going out because of that ruling. So you can't really be messing around with that kind of thing. You want to be winning games quickly and losing games slowly. I know that sounds somewhat weird, but that's what you have to do to work the times in your favor.
Well, we said earlier today that this is probably the hardest group out of the two.
Yeah.
And we already have Fnatic and SK Telecom moving on from Group A. I don't think you actually gave me an official word for the two teams you expect to move on here, but...
Okay, no, I didn't. I just said it's really hard to call. Honestly...
But with the way Fnatic looked yesterday, I mean, they played exceptional. 3-0 in the group.
Yeah, exactly. They won every single game. So the second place team in this group, in Group E, will play Fnatic. And the winners will play second place team, which obviously was SK Telecom from yesterday. So, you know... You can have your favourites going in, whether you'd want to play SK Telecom or Fnatic. To be honest, I don't think it matters in a tournament like this where two of you go through to see that one. But I'm going to go and stick my neck on the line and say MYM and CLG are still going to go through.
Okay, well, it looks like the game is unpaused. And we'll be heading back in there shortly, Joe. And we do have Alton actually starting off at race, going to take that for themselves. And deny that to the jungle, obviously. But we do have MetalX and Sen heading up towards the top lane.
Yep, Cotnex finished that one off, and we will have 4 men coming down towards this blue buff. This is dangerous times. There are 4 there from Alternate to stop this invade from happening. Let's have a look how far gone this blue buff already is. We are going to see it's not quite at smiteable level as Cotnex going to get the knock up there, taking a good bit of damage. But these charms going to be very important. The first one didn't quite land where Alternate will have wanted it to, but they are following away, trying to catch in on towards Charu. There is a flash away from Charu. Actually, yeah, it was Libic that actually flashed over the wall here as well to get himself back to safety. So Alternate doing a good job of defending this blue buff and have forced 2 flashes to be burnt. So they're
reset again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit slower there, but at least they will be able to get their blue buff. I mean, Shogat, not really dependent on it, but it helps him quite a bit as he did take his rupture first. So, I mean, it kind of put him a little bit behind. It's not the ideal thing you want to take, but in the meantime, Makati did end up picking up his red, heading over towards race. And we do have that lane switch we were talking about earlier with the 2 AD carries in the top lane with the supports. And we have Aurelia versus Rengar in the bottom.
Yeah, I expect Rengar to be very strong in this lane. We know that Kerp is one hell of a beast, to be honest with you. And, well, Rengar's proved over the last couple of tournaments here, IPL in particular, how strong he is, and probably worth a ban, I think, from almost every single, or from every single team. In my opinion, that's how strong he is on this current patch that we're playing on. Obviously, Zed. And we'll see how he goes through this game. I mean, you can already see 16-4 is the CS lead for Rengar. Like, that's like the perfect opening start for him.
Yeah, Cuban being forced to farm under his towers. Rengar's pushing. Look at me. He's actually heading towards the mid lane right now. Will be spotted, though. Trying to apply a lot of early pressure, maybe get that first blood over to his mid lane, but Charu sitting pretty far behind as Kerp, like I just said, was spotted. And the blue buff, they have it warded, so they know Skarner hasn't gone for it yet. And they could actually make a plan. Oh, we do have a 3-man gang coming in mid lane, though.
Yeah, I think Charu should stay safe from this one. There's a flash in to the boulder strike, but they're level 3. They can't afford to get under the tower, even with 3 of them there.
Oh, Makata coming in the top lane right now. This could be very bad for Alternate.
Now let's see how they turn this one around. There is the snowball coming out onto MetalX. Here comes Makata. He's not super healthy though. They've decided to turn over on towards Sand, who will actually flash away. MetalX takes a bit of damage there in the process as well, but Meteor Maker's not quite able to tie a first blood up in that situation. And just as we were talking about CS, Rengar left the lane for a little bit too long, and Kuban is right back up there with him.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Rengar's going to go, because we saw at IPL 5, like you're mentioning, just straight tank. And,
Makata in the jungle. He's going pretty low there. What's happening? And, well, it was just the golems, actually. But down in this bottom lane, Kerp and Kuban going to be exchanging damage pretty much the entire time here, I think. And now Kuban's even got the advantage in CS and in levels, despite being behind there. Cotnex is still waiting in this top lane for an attempt at something, but with that wave pushed up, probably not going to get the chance and will be recalling.
I really like the play of Alternate right now, of sending Cotnex towards that top lane. They need to deny Vayne. They can't let her farm up this game. I mean, we all know how strong she gets, even if you deny her early on. If you let her farm, she can be very strong, but giving that little bit of advantage to MetalX and to Sen is going to help them a lot in the long run. I'm curious to see if he's going to make a lot more plays up there or not. He's heading down towards the bottom lane, has that boots, and actually picked up a ward just to make sure Kerp is extra safe. But, I mean, when he's hit 6, you can't really gank him.
Yeah. And that's the real problem. I mean, it's hard enough anyway in the top or even in his bottom lane because of the brushes and because of the way it works, jumping in and out there. Like, it's going to be really hard to lock him down. And once he's got that ward in position, probably won't have too much of a tough time. I mean, the only thing that you can really rely on is flash ulting in there from Skarner and grabbing him before he pops that ultimate to get away. So we'll see how that one all works out. It's going 33 to 22. That wave that he just took put him a good 10 CS in the lead, but Irelia now back into the lane will be bringing that one back as well. The AD carries Vayne got a slight advantage here at 36 to 33, but we're certainly seeing a different Meteor Makers than that last game. I guess it was kind of obvious when you got the likes of Vayne in there, who's obviously getting stronger and stronger and stronger as she goes along, that they can't go for that super early aggression anyway. And
Joe, you've been covering Meteor Makers for practically a year now. Is this the kind of game they can play? Like, can they really drag it out and play as well as they did, like we saw in game number 1 versus CLG?
I think it's longer than a year, to be honest with you. I mean, WCG was also like the last weekend of December, if I'm correct. Well, not the last weekend, but the last weekend before Christmas, I should say. And before that, seeing them in EU Nordic and East, the team's pretty much the same. They've switched out their top lanes, which for the better, in my opinion. I mean, Kubon's proved to be stronger than Kikis, I think, overall in this one. But yeah, they're definitely a very versatile team. It's not like they're a one-trick pony in terms of they can be aggressive at level 1 and that's about it. They can definitely do a lot of damage throughout this entire game. So they won't be at any disadvantage, in my opinion, with this whole lineup. It's something that they're going to be very comfortable with. Makler is a phenomenal Vayne player as well.
Yeah, one thing you just mentioned is that over a year of time, they only changed one person on their team, and that to me is amazing. We see a lot of teams drop a player after a big tournament because they feel like he was holding the team back, but in the end, I mean, there's only so much of a skill cap you can have, and it's just all about getting used to your players and getting used to each other as a team. But Kerp, I mean, he's just harassing away, actually leveling up his battle roar, which I mean, typically see. I've actually seen a Rengar level up his bullet strike before against an Aurelia, and actually kept her out of lane. But then again, if you're going to build him tanky, it doesn't matter in the end, as he does have that heart of gold, which we no longer see anymore, Joe.
Sad times.
Yep.
No, but I think his battle roar is better anyway for lane sustain, so not really surprised to see him going in that direction. Meanwhile, we did see the AD carry and support coming down in towards this blue buff once again. Going to get that warded up, as it does actually spawn. So we'll see if Meteor Makers make a play for that one. Sang going to get condemned against the wall here. Not sure if they got the damage. There's the exhaust coming down on towards Makler. Can they finish off Sand for first blood? He's going to be exhausted. One more hit. The snowball comes down. Now Makler in trouble. He will flash away. Summon a heal is popped, and that will keep him safe. And that's all here. Yeah, we saw him running a lot of Vayne's running cleanse in this kind of game, but to be honest with you, the heal can prove just as vital for that. I mean, if he had cleanse in that situation, he was dead anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the Graves has so much burst, even running with the Lulu, who does a lot of damage herself. You're going to need that heal. Cleanse would help out, but if you look at the end goal of what Alternate has, all they really have is the Charm, which is pretty easily dodgeable by Vayne since you have that tumble. Yeah. And then Kurt Bola striking you with that 5 points of ferocity. But we do see Connex and Charu meeting up with each other in the jungle, as Makati taking his red buff.
Yeah, Charu there sticking around. He's just trying to delay enough so that Cho'Gath doesn't go topside and try to steal away this red buff. So nicely done there by Charu. Has lost a little bit of time in this middle lane. He's now 10 CS behind this Ahri, which I think we can pretty much expect considering how things have done. This bottom lane, the Rengar versus Irelia. Rengar got that Heart of Golden, as we mentioned earlier on. Irelia going in towards, I'm guessing with that Phage with the Ruby Crystal in there, and also got that Doran's Blade. You can see the damage there coming out of Kerp. He actually didn't really jump onto Kubon, but the W doing sufficient damage. I mean, you do that 5-6 times and he's dead. It's like, that's just all you need to do as a Rengar.
Just jumped into the middle of a wave with Kubon there. Wasn't even scared. Popped the battle road twice. Like you just said, healed up. And I mean, Kubon, he's being forced to pop a lot of health pots. He's being forced, well, not forced to, but leveling up that heat and style just for that extra regen. We did come to the top lane.
Yeah, dive. Oh, not quite coming in there. He actually used his ultimate and tumble just to get that invisibility underneath the tower. And they're certainly scared. I mean, one thing that they've got there is the slow coming out of Limit Snowball, plus he can ulti now and then he's level 6. Plus the Condemn can really buy you a lot of time underneath the tower like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give up any more kills as you're already currently down 1-0, and they already fed 1 kill over to Makler. If you feed them, 1 or 2 more, it's just going to be your top lane's not going to win. Period.
Yeah.
We do have items being built up. We should probably go into that just a little bit, just to talk about it. I mean, Rengar, like we were saying before, building tanky. We have those boots mobility done on Cho'Gath, the Chalice on Ahri and Orianna, which it's a standard item going into that Athene's and Holy Grail. We do have Graves, the 2 Doran's Blades, and the Berserker Greaves. And Lulu, I mean, we've seen Meteor Makers, like you're saying before in the first game, they were the first team to really use these pink boards.
Yeah. To be honest, I think Kubon's pretty...
Oh, top lane, Joe.
Oh, yeah, we are. Just seeing Jaru coming in there. Sand is dead from that one. And my point was that I don't think that Rengar is really causing Kubon too many problems now in this lane. I mean, he's got that Doran's Blade in there for the extra health plus the extra damage, sitting on that Ruby Crystal as well. But that will be 2-0, and that's 2 kills for Vayne. And we always talk about these hyper carries. And one thing you can't afford to do is give him the kills, as I'm talking there. We do see Skarner go down, or don't see Skarner down, as was more of the case in that one. Promise, guys, I won't miss any more today. Otherwise, I'll give out free stuff all day long on Twitter. But this is going to be the first turret of the game, going over to Meteor Makers. And that's just a big win in this top lane from their side of it. I mean, 2 kills on the AD carry, on Vayne nonetheless, plus taking out that early turret. They may lose middle here, though, which is not a trade that you want to take, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, no one's really a big fan of losing that middle turret. But I mean, Meteor Makers is solid in game number 1 for CLG. They took that top turret. Then they sent a 4-man gank down inside bot lane to take it as well. And we might see them do it this time as well, because they're a hyper aggressive team as we know them. And with this Vayne having 2 kills already, having the Zeal done with the Nunu Blood Boil, that extra movement speed, they have the ability to go for these lanes and get these towers done extremely quickly. Doesn't even matter if Grace farms up anymore, because he doesn't have really any items or any kills behind him. As we do see Vayne and Nunu heading down to his bot lane. Are they going to send Kerp top? Not really 100% sure. Or Kerp, wow, Cubon, they're both Ks. Not really sure if he's going to go for it, as they are heading for a dragon.
Yeah, no ward in there, not going to be spotted. Actually, the only ward really around is in this corner brush here, so they walked completely around the other way. Alternate not going to know anything about that one going down. Makata just smiting it off for the finish, and that's easy money in the bag there for Meteor Makers. They are currently 500 gold, if I could count, in the lead.
I like how you mentioned giving away free stuff on Twitter when you already shaved your head for people on Twitter, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I like doing stuff like that. I'm a giver. Oh, wow. That. Anyway, so Meteor Makers down now with that duo lane in the bottom again. Kerp is actually still there, and Makler needs to be careful because he's very tanky, and he does a lot of damage with that Battle Roar. Going to be tied up there, and now we see Alternate taking that top turret as well. So overall, that trade really working in the favor of of Alternate.
I mean, Makler, he needs levels right now to be able to compete with Kerp. He doesn't have that Silver Bolts leveled up yet. Obviously went for Tumble first. And once he gets that, he can easily solo Rengar. At least for the most part, he should be able to, unless Kerp, uses his stealth to his advantage. But they are pushing his bot lane. We do have Fernlord coming in from the bottom as well. And this could be the 3rd turret actually going down for Meteor Makers.
Yeah, and doing it is exactly as they should, in my opinion. I mean, they know that Vayne probably is not going to risk trying to defend turrets like this when they're outnumbered, so they can probably feel quite comfortable in pushing straight on towards these towers at this stage of the game. As Libic here is actually going to get charmed up. Ult is absolutely 0. It's not absolute 0, it's the absolutely 0 that time coming out for Libic. And Makler almost getting hit with the charm as well. We've got Graves and Cho'Gath waiting in the wings. Skarner is there as well.
Yeah, all 10 members currently for both teams down here.
This could end up being a bit of a crazy encounter. As Rengar jumps in there, Alternate looking like they really want this turret. But all it takes is Makata to flash in now with the Orianna ball on him.
That's the thing, though. He has an Oracle on him.
Impale.
He doesn't really want to give that away early on, as he went for it. It's a pretty early item. He does have those 2 GP10s, but Alternate backing away surprisingly, as we do see Char right to that mid lane and farm up and catch up a little bit to Frelnlord. The Things and Holy Grail done for Frelnlord right now, and we do see Char currently almost done with it. Doesn't have the gold just yet. It should be finishing that up shortly. And that cooldown reduction, which is really what Meteor Makers is waiting for. I mean, when you have Skarner's ultimate up, you can afford to team fight. Well, as long as Char's ultimate is up on top of that.
Yeah. And now we see Kubon again being chased out of the lane. He's actually dropped back a little bit in levels and in CS as well. 110 to 90 for this solo lane. Middle 108 to 112 in favor of Orianna. The AD's Graves starting to pull ahead there, but those 2 kills on Vayne, if we have a look here, 4,500 to 4,100. Obviously the Dragon going to help in that one, being also a bit more equalized by those turrets. Yeah, Kerp could be in trouble here. And unsurprisingly, going to pop his ulti, but there is the Impale coming down on towards Kerp. He's going to get slowed. He's not escaping this one. Where's the kill coming in? It goes on to Irelia, onto Kubon. And you can see Makata Well, losing half of his health, tanking up the turret to make that one work out. That was another great move from Meteor Makers.
Yeah, it's actually a great use of that Oracle as well. They knew, like we talked about earlier, if Rengar hits level 6, he's really hard to gank. But getting that early Oracle allows him to do that. It gives him a lot of map control as well. Now they're pushing this bottom lane. They should get this turret quite easily. And Graves still in the top and just trying to catch up and farm. All right, well, catch up, I mean, he's actually ahead, but catch up in total money. But Frontline might be able to land a charm here.
Well, he actually does land the charm, which is seems to be a signal for Meteor Makers to actually dive in on towards him there. Ultimate is already running for him, does get snowballed to slow him down, and there's nothing that Alternate can really offer up in terms of a fight at this stage. Middle lane is being pushed out by Charu as well. We're all tied in turrets. Gold currently 700 in the lead for Meteor Makers from those extra kills from the Dragon that went down earlier. Will be coming up here at 18 minutes, according to our timers.
I'm a little bit surprised at the lack of ganks coming out of Makata. I mean, when he gets level 6, his presence is insane.
Oh, Libic. This is very dangerous. Connect's going to come in. Where is the knockup? The knockup actually missed, which may just be enough for him to survive. Yeah, he flashes in the end over the wall, which always a bonus to have a flash down, whichever way you look at it.
Oh, sorry, he's actually trying to steal away red there for a second, ends up backing away. Been a very ballsy play on his part, but Makata going to notice something was up and check the bush, and we'll spot him here, but Krip should be able to keep him off this red.
Yeah, rest of the team's coming around here to offer some support. Kirp maybe forced back. Connect's just going in there with that Oracle now on Cho'Gath to deny the vision for Meteor Makers, but the entire team is pretty much going to collapse in, but it's 5-man push from Alternate, and wisely Meteor Makers not going to contest that one. They decide just to let it go. And that will be a buff stolen away. Every little helps at this stage. Still a 700 gold lead. Let's have a look at the items. Boost ability on the Cho'Gath. Seen a few wards being picked up there by Skarner. He's gone double GP10 with that Heart of Gold and Philosopher's Stone. Aurelia already got 2 of the 3 pieces of that Trinity Force, which, as we all know, on this patch, you know, you're Aurelia, you need your Trinity Force and you need your Guardian Angel, and you're good to go. And all the time, Vayne is getting stronger. That's the point of it. Almost up to that Phantom Dancer now finished. On the other side...
Lane. This is going to be a gank coming out Kurt from behind the tower.
But I think Kuban might be able to escape this one. Yeah, he puts a ball strike down. Not got the 5 points to get the root from it, only the slow. And Kuban will actually survive it. And actually, he's going to wait here. Do some good damage to Kurt, as we do see Makata coming in. Rest of Alternate trying to turn this one around, though. Where's the charm? Actually does land onto Makata as the Ignites are put a little bit early too down in that fight. But they will back off from it in the end. But yeah, Sunfire Cape finished on Rengar now. Athene's Unholy Grail already done a little bit earlier on Ari, who must be sat on, 1,700 gold now currently. Orianna got that Fiendish Codex in there, plus the Chalice obviously headed up towards that Athene's as well, and a needlessly large rod also to boot from that one with the Sorcerer's Shoes. The AD carries, as I said, Vayne almost at the Phantom Dancer stage, and Graves getting close to his Infinity Edge.
Almost stole it right there, but great job by Meteor Makers to take these objectives, knowing the timings on them, and making a play towards it when they were ready. I mean, they forced Alternate to back because they got Rengar a little low. Sen actually backed as well, so they knew they had that free dragon. And now, I mean, the gold lead is starting to finally take effect. As you see them trying to push this mid turret here, it's currently 3-2 in favor of Alternate. But still, I mean, Meteor Makers, they have such a strong team, it's such a tanky team at the moment. And they have a lot of control built in as well, so they're forcing Alternate back. And out Curve going in.
Wow, that was a
mistake.
Yeah. I think that's... I was going to use stronger words for it, but here we go. Shockwave coming down. This is surely a death. Sand uses the ultimate on Metalex. I'm pretty sure he meant to click himself there for that one as the Nunu ulti comes in. Metalex going to pick up a kill, but that Lulu ulti goes down. Makler going to pick up a kill from that one, and that will be a 2-for-1, maybe even more here as Makler not finished just yet. Will double kill taking down Sand. Great turnaround, and that all starts with just a very uncoordinated play coming out of Alternate. Kirk dives in with the entire team.
Against an
Gets
Oracle.
Impaled in there with the Oracle, yeah, obviously on Skarner. Well, it's not anymore because he's dead. But a miscalculation, what could be a disastrous miscalculation in the grand scheme of this game.
Yeah, it's really disastrous, Joe. Look at Makler's gold right now. Sitting on 2,700 right now. He's almost done with the Phantom Dancer. Going to be working towards that Infinity's Edge eventually, but we saw yesterday just how strong Vayne can be. And with Nunu here, it's going to be that much more, I want to say disgusting, because I would hate to go up against a Vayne in this situation. We do have an Oracle picked up on Libic, though, as he does finish off a couple more items, or picks up a couple of those.
Oh, Makler just finished Phantom Dancer and got a BF sword.
Good times for him, at least. Well, Blue going to be taking my Front Lord, and I mean, Mutual Maker's looking very strong. That was such a good turnaround by them. I mean, once they caught Kerp, they're like, go for it. You heard him behind us if you're listening in. Them screaming with energy, just trying to, you know, take advantage of that little bit of a mistake. But Mackler, I mean, he's behind in CS, but it doesn't really matter when he's 4-0-2, and no, that is the answer.
So, Kubon here may end up getting caught out. Nice dodge of the rupture. Actually going in there, dashes away. And therefore misses the charm, which was already thrown out there by Forellenlord. As our stage manager brings us a yogurt. Always good to have here as a caster. Yogurt? It's actually my secret recipe of success as a commentator, vanilla yogurts. So anyway, back into it. On some more relevance here. 3,000 gold lead for Meet Your Maker. 6-2 in kills, 4-3 in turrets. Let's have a look at the kill distribution. 2 for Irelia, 4 on Mackler on Vayne, which, you know, is not the most perfect of things. Orianna would like to have some, but she got 4 assists from those 6 kills, and those kills will start to, you know, trickle through to the rest of the team. But as long as they protect the Vayne, that's basically their strategy here, is now protect the Vayne. Get that Orianna ball in the middle of them and allow Vayne as much time as possible. As there's a flash out of Makata, and it was nicely flashed back from by alternate. And now what's going to happen? We are going to see Rengar diving. Here comes the shockwave. 2 of them going down. Irelia diving in. Lulu ulti knocks them away. Nunu ultimate, not brilliant, but Mackler is still in there. Gets himself 1 kill. They feast onto him. Is he going to get knocked up? No, he's not. He's survived that one. But Meet Your Maker's all a little bit low here. Kubon, not sure he's going to escape this with Graves chasing him down. Actually, will dodge the rupture. 1 more auto attack. There it is from Metalex to get the kill. And that will be a 2-for-1. So alternate doing a good job of that one.
Yeah, they were just tanking up. I mean, they had Mackler just pretty much zoned out. I mean, yeah, he has a lot of damage right now with that Fan Dancer, with that BF sword, but he just doesn't have exactly what he needs. Oh, he might get caught here by Cotnex.
Yeah, he's just going to dodge that rupture. However, will we see Metalex pick anything up? He's not got a flash available. And the tumble into the bush will keep Mackler safe from that one. Orianna, in the meantime, coming back around. That was actually a pretty nice move from her with the teleport coming in. That's why I almost missed it, because she just appeared right next to Cho'Gath and was able to take him down. So, you know, MYM in the end, bringing those kills kind of level from that little encounter as Forellenlord here inside the brushes needs to be careful, because Makata is not finished. He's actually going to use the Impale, brings him back to the rest of the team. Forellenlord going to have to use his ulti charges to try and get away from this. Well, the ball from Charu will rain in. And as I was saying, those kills at some point are going to trickle in for Charu. He's now sat on 205, 503 for Vayne, 212 for Irelia. It's Baron o'clock.
Baron o'clock. Joe the Prophet Miller. Ultimate, what they need to do is, I mean, obviously shut down Mackler, but the problem they're having is if you send Kerp in with that ultimate to jump in and get that bullet strike, that 5 for LC bullet strike on a Mackler, he's going to get caught by Oracle. He's going in here, but he's not going to have a good time.
Yeah, Oracle just completely counters him. Actually, the shockwave lands onto a Metalex. Lulu ultimate won't do diddly squat. And now Sand flashes himself away. But to be honest, why would they even care about Lulu? They wouldn't. That's the answer to that one. They're going to chase down on towards Cotnex. Irelia gets knocked up. But look at Mackler hammering away. He is now godlike. And that is another kill coming out. 2 for them in this. Lulu did actually manage to somehow survive. Sand all on his own on this top side, running for dear life, trying to figure out which bush he's going to go home in from. Or will he be fast enough to dive to the tower? That's the question. Makata trying to get in there. Can he hit him with anything? No, not quite. But nicely done by Lulu. Meanwhile, Mackler, they did manage to get down and pick up the Rengar. And they'll say, well, look at that. Turret's open. We've got Baron. You've got Forellenlord here, who's going to have a massive pair on him if he thinks about having a fight here.
Well, he has like 4 on him at the moment.
Yeah. There we go. Q comes out. Charm. Enough to force Meet Your Makers away. And they'll be happy with that turret takedown. 5-3, 6,000 gold lead for them currently.
And an 8-0-3 Mackler. That's you never want to see that. But Mackler, his micromanagement is amazing. As you saw in this entire last fight, he dodged. Oh, he got hit by 1 rupture, but he dodged everything else after that. And just with his items, with his damage, he was able to take down that Cho'Gath. And we will have another Dragon going over to Meet Your Maker. So, you know, they picked up Baron, they got another 2 kills, and then they swung around to Dragon, giving them even more gold. As they see Vayne sitting at 2,000 almost. Nunu, Cuba going on a Forellenlord here.
Look at that damage coming out as well. Just from the ultimate, as actually Kuban in the end goes low. The slow coming out of Sand Not going to be able to lock him down, though. And Kuban will be quite happy to go home and spend the 1100 gold that he's got from those last couple of encounters. Meanwhile, Orianna, death cap finish now. Actually didn't end up finishing the Athene's unholy grail right now. Say, well, you know what? Don't think I need it anymore. I've got a blue buff, got Baron on. Let's just go straight in for that damage.
You've seen his ultimate, though. At that Baron fight, he caught Metalex, took him down to half-life just from the ulti and his dissonance.
Yeah.
And that's what they need. If they get someone that low, they're going to win the fight, period. And also, they have to make a play here. It's really unfortunate because they're not in a good situation. Makers has this Baron, but we're seeing 2 GAs, actually 3 GAs, no, 2 GAs being built, one on Aurelia, one on Vayne. And when that happens, there's just no possible way Alternate can win these fights unless they catch someone out in the jungle. And with the way Makers have been playing, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, the attack speed from Vayne is just enough already. Two attack speed, like
not even a point, just 2.
Just 2. No points
then
in
it goes
this
down
one.
1.6.
As the Rupture goes in, Mackler actually got the command protect on him, and he stood right next to an Oracle here. Kirk going to go low. Oh, the Shockwave gets all of them inside of it. This is going to be a massacre. Mikata is in the middle of them, but the kills coming down for MYM. There's a double from Orianna. Where's the finisher? Where's Vayne? Back into the fight. Mackler now going to chase down. Tumble, 3 shots for Ellenlord down, and that will be the ace coming out. They lost 2 men for the pleasure, but what a trade-off once again. Makers absolutely on fire here. Mackler 10-0-5, 4-1-9 coming out for Charu on Orianna. Mackler's just 2.1 attack speed right now, by the way, just to clarify how fast he is hitting at this stage. There is going to be the inhibitor taken down, and Makers again can say, well, you know what, I'm going home, because Mackler's got 2,300 gold.
Yeah, we'll have that GA when he goes back, but I mean, we saw Kerp go in there, but he was spotted by that Oracle, as you were mentioning, and yet they didn't really go after him because they knew, you know, once he goes in, he's not going to have much damage. He's going to try to get that bullet strike on a Mackler, but it didn't work. And they ended up winning that fight. That was an amazing shockwave coming out of Charu, and that's why even at the expert desk he was saying, or Arne was saying, Charu was like the first person to ever play Orianna, and it shows right here just how good he is at it. We do have a voice stat picked up for him though, and that's just going to make him. He can pretty much one-shot Metalex with his ult and his full combo.
Yeah, they're in a dangerous situation now. Alternate. I mean, again, we get to these points where we talk about throws needing to happen, and I think it's a similar situation because Mackler is 10-0-5. You've got to kill him. If you don't kill Mackler, you're not winning the fight. You're never going to win the fight if he's not dead. And
the big problem is Alternate has no attack speed reduction. They need a random wins, they need a Frozen Heart. I mean, Cho'Gath is building towards his Glacier Shroud, but it's going to be just too late. They need that attack speed reduction just to stop that damage that comes out with that Silver Bolts. But it's a little too late, Joe. Like I was saying, Alternate had to make a play while Makers have that Baron, and now they got Ace. They're not going to be able to win these fights.
Well, there's one thing that's for sure here. However bad of a situation Alternate are in, they're not going to give it up. They lost their last game to CJ Enters. They can't lose this game. So they're going to go throw everything that they can. It's going to be an all-in strategy probably at some point that they feel gives them the best opportunity to do something in this game. But they're going to go for that at some point. They have to go for it. But will they be strong enough when that comes around? Highly unlikely, but Alternate still are in it, that's for sure. But we'll have to figure out exactly how in it once that next fight is finished, which I fear for Alternate, to be honest with you.
I mean, you're saying they need to kill Mackler, which is completely true, but he's a GA now. How do you kill him twice? If you can't kill him once at this point, how the heck are you going to kill him twice?
I think the answer is you're not, Jason.
Yep.
That's the sad part about it. But let's see, Alternate trying to defend this inner turret in the middle lane, or the inhibitor turret in the bottom lane. What? Skarner pushing through the middle lane. That's what threw me off, because I was looking at Skarner just pushing those super minions straight through in the mid. But what do you do in this situation, Alternate? I mean, do you back off? Do you leave this tower? No, probably not. But do you let those super minions come through onto your Nexus turrets? Also can't do that. As you see, Mackler going in there, doesn't really care whatsoever. As a shockwave will pull for Ellenlord. Are they going to go for this one? Graves' ulti did come down as well, but they're quite happy to just keep going, having to go at these towers. As Limit going a little bit low from that encounter as well, but Mackler going to push in. There comes the Impale onto Metalex. Lulu ulti won't really do that much to him. Knock up from Cho'Gath, but where are the rest of the kills going to come down? Makers can't quite grab anyone else. Actually, ulti is still running here on Mackler, so may want to get involved. Sand, just from the command dissonance, goes almost down from that one. as the orb from Frelenlord will miss Mackler. He's still full HP, has that GA as well. He could probably take on the whole team. That's how strong he is right now. There is the second inhibitor of the game going down. Expertly dodges that charm with his tumble as well. And Meet Your Makers go home. Guess what? It's shopping time again. 1,000 gold for Orianna, 1,300 gold for Vayne. What's she going to go for?
Well, gets caught. Not going to buy anything just yet, but...
Well, that's delayed it at least 20 seconds.
Well, obviously going to be work towards an Infinity's Edge, but I don't think he's actually going to be able to complete that item before this game is over. I mean, 30 minutes in, we saw in game 1 versus CLG how strong and how well Meet Your Makers can play a hyper-aggressive game, but we're also seeing here is just how well they can play a longer match.
Yeah, that's why I said to you early on that they're definitely not a one-trick pony here, Meet Your Makers. I mean, this is pretty much the exact opposite strategy than that first game that they had, which was hammer him in the early stage and try and finish it off earlier. Sand is going to be getting caught out here. Exhaust down onto Kubon. He's down to half HP, so probably don't want to get too involved with this one, or do they? As we are going to see them coming in there. There's a teleport out of Charu. Where is the Orianna ultimate going to land? There is the Nunu ultimate. Orianna's ball is in there. Shockwave not used up until now, though. Well, they're forcing them away from this Baron, and that's exactly what they need to do here, Meet Your Makers. As soon as they get someone down, alternate won't be able to, I'm not sure that they can now even really try and contest for this Baron. Their saving grace is that Kubon is low. That's like their saving grace as Makata goes in, gets charmed up. He was laughing in the process.
But look what's happening, Joe. Nexus turrets. Supermans are attacking those right now. All they're doing is just keeping them there by forcing them to check Baron every so often. But if they don't do something about it, if the alternate doesn't engage or they don't back and let that Baron go, they're going to lose their base and lose this game and lose hopes of advancing to the next round.
They still need to be a little bit careful in this situation, though, because if that charm lands and they manage to nuke someone down quickly, that's Alternate's, I think, only real chance to get back in this one. So a wrong step from Meet Your Makers could end up hurting them in the end. But they've got so much power right now, and Frelenlord down to half HP. He has to dash in there, really, at the end of the day. Kerp going to pop his ultimate out here. Libic will spot him. Meet Your Makers starting to back away. Here we go. Where's the Shockwave going to land? First of all, they focus in on Kerp. Gets Melex and Kotanex, but Makata going low. Libic not super healthy either, as we do see Makata going down. Let's keep an eye on Mackler, see what he can do with that micro. He gets himself one kill. He's going to keep going through. Kotanex is the next target. Kotanex goes down. Come on, Mackler, where you at? Oh, gets hit with the Glitter Lance. That will slow him down, but Charu is not finished just yet. Here we go. Frelenlord very, very low. Pretty much one shot there from Mackler will kill him. Sand's now trying to escape. He's got no mana to really do anything. Where's the next tumble? There it is. 2 more shots. And there we go. Mackler finishing that one off. Hits the inhibitor one time, and he's going to go through pretty much all on his own. Charu too low to really get involved. Actually, he stood there at the back. I just noticed as he comes in. There's the first Nexus turret. The ball goes into the back to keep Frelenlord away. And look at this, Mackler's going to just try and 1v1 him away. And they've got plenty of super minions really there to get this job done. But it looks like they're going to back off with those spawn time of Graves coming in. They decide it's not worth it to risk trying to finish that Nexus off right now. But they've done a fantastic job here. 2 inhibitors down. Those super minions already well up into the base. They've got more and more waves coming in to join them. And now they're going to go home to shop, because Mackler, as I was speaking about before, still has a load of gold to spend. Around about 3,172 roundabout.
Look how much red there is on the mini-map, Joe. It's just so
That's
overwhelming.
The blood of Alternate.
Yep, he's back and gonna pick up that last Whisper as his next item just making sure. I was like, oh no, he might do something else, do something a little crazy, since he is 13-0-6 right now, but he has his team on his back, and as long as they protect him, they easily will be able to win this. And Alternate, they can't, they're gonna have to go for Sneaky Baron, but as we see, Meet Your Makers in position to stop this. That is a fast Nunu.
Dodge the Rupture. Yeah, that Nunu is very fast. Boots mobility on there. And with that Blood Boil fully leveled by now, they are going to be starting off Baron. So let's keep a tab on the health there, because Charu is actually pushing in, almost nuking down Sand with the Shockwave and Dissonance. But that Shockwave is down, which could prove to be a vital thing here if Meet Your Makers end up getting caught out. There was a charm going in Shirelia's pop. They are going to be pulling Kotanex away, but the fight is going off on 2 fronts. I can hardly keep track of the action. Kotanex is going to go down. Mackler, look at him, he's right in the middle of them. He's falling low here. Is he going to get his GA popped? Yes, he will by Lulu in the end. Kurt will fall though, and can they finish off Mackley fast enough? He dodges away from it with the tumble. Sand is now running for dear life. He manages to get the slow across them all, but, well, Charu's coming in around the side. He picks up that kill, and they are going to go for the finish here. Pharrell Lord will once again be the man to save the day, or probably not save the day, as the case will most likely be. He's going to try it. There is the ace coming down in the end, though, from Oriana. And Meet Your Maker's going to take out Alternate, go 2-0 here in Group B of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Another brilliant performance. Opposite kind of strategy than what they used in game number 1 against CLG, but it had the same effect in the end, and that just proves that Meet Your Makers mean business.
They have to be so